Okay, let's do a new map.
I was hoping for a game of Nest, but okay.
We can do a Nest instead of Arena if you want.
no, let's
Please
do
no.
Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going through all the maps. I've seen... You know what? I haven't seen very many refueling tower arenas yet. Okay, good luck. Have fun. I feel like it's a death center for my Skywraith. Every dome is closed spaces. It's not too bad. I like this map just because I think it's actually very monster favored because there is a lot of areas to hide in this map. It's very jungly. Jungly? I don't know if that's a word. I don't think it is, but it will be now. Ooh, Laz Bucket. Ooh. Laz, Bucket, Crow, Markov. So all three of these guys, well, Bucket to an extent. So all of them, his turrets can do it anyway, can utilize his weak points. So this will be a very interesting. It really depends on how well the team can fight within the turret nest. Now, one of my big strategies, if you ever have Laz, especially a non-Hank or Sunny support, your support, especially if it's Bucket, basically you pop down your 5 turrets and you go and feed yourself to the monster. Because if the monster kills the assault, you're not going to have enough damage to punish the monster for body camping. If the trapper goes down, the dome goes down, and the monster can leave whenever he wants. But if it's support, the monster a lot of times gets tunnel vision and tries to body camp the support, but you're being punished by the assault, and the dome is still up, so you can't just hit the person and escape. So I feel that a good Bucket, we'll see if he actually makes these plays or not, but if you ever dome a monster and you have this kind of a setup, sit down your deployables as a support and basically feed yourself to the monster, and then have the rest of your team, because to be fair, arguably Bucket's rocket launcher is going to be doing so damage anyway, but if you can body camp with a good assault and trapper, you can do a lot of punishing damage and might maybe even pull it off. And worst case scenario, the support has 1 strike, no big deal, and the monster takes a lot of damage. Oh yeah, it's Arena. Haha. Well, that still goes. I don't know why I was thinking this was a hunt. So the same general strategy kind of works, and go ahead and feed the support to the monster. And there we go. Nice dodge by Conjugates here. Not sure why he's going after the trapper specifically. Ooh, and that Bucket nest doing a lot of damage, and it looks like he got stuck for a second. Needs to be very careful. I'm not sure why he chooses to go after the trapper right away. In a normal dome, that would work, but in the arena mode, going after the trapper, I feel isn't really important. So he's going to try and eat here, I think. Nope. Okay, good. Just wanted to kill the mammoth bird. And Gobi, master vision of the area. So Conjugates was by himself. That actually could have worked out a little bit. Let's see if there's any mines. There's a couple of mines back there. I do like that they have this huge defensive bastion of solitude for Laz to basically hide in. And so if you do go after Laz, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. Like, look at all this. He's going to get hit by oh, and he does stop to go ahead and go after that. Be very careful about using your non-movable skills like Lightning Strike when you're on the ground inside of a Bucket nest, just because it can hurt a lot. So Medic does get away. I love this little area back here. Fantastic area for Laz to hide in until he actually comes out. So extremely good job there. Monster trying to probably get some food in right now. And there we go. He's going to get a little bit of armor. Maybe 4 bars? Gets 4 bars of armor in. It looks like he is going to go back. He's going to go after the support finally. Nice dodge by Killer over here. And that's exactly like, this is fantastic. This is how you fight against a Kraken. You know, you don't necessarily have to chase the monster. He will come to you, and you just kind of peek around corners. Watch out for group ups. So they are doing an incredible job of tearing into this Kraken. Kraken needs to be a little bit careful about getting loaded. Okay, it looks like the monster has given up.
Hunters win. Battle 2. Ready. Fight.
Okay, so we'll see. So they're getting time to set up their turrets. So now they're just finding an area where... So it looks like their base of operations is going to be this big giant a spike here. Okay, and there we go. Here's the initiation. Damage going out to the Assault. Assault chasing a little bit farther. Now, when you have Laz, be careful about chasing too much, because you get separated. It's going to be very easy for the monster to body camp a little bit easier, because you're no longer near your defenses. Ooh, unfortunate sneak pounce miss, but great work on Dead, forcing the Hunters to come to him for now. And Silverblade, very, very low health, and here comes the Aftershock. Aftershock misses Silver, but he still might be able to go ahead and get him down. And there's Silverblade's personal shield. So now would be a good time to go ahead and focus on other people for a little while, and then come back in a little while. So it looks like he sees Laz. That was a little early for the Aftershock, but it looks like Laz is right there by the bucket turret. I don't think the monster sees it. And here we go, fighting in on the Hunter's terms. Need to be very careful. I would actually be using, in this case, the support might actually go down here. This might be a great start. So Silver also almost dead. No personal shield up for that, so this actually might be a very good spot for him to be on. I feel that Dead changes his targets a little bit too much, because he could have gotten the Assault or the support if he actually stayed on them a little bit longer. Medic about to go down, though. Nope, now swapping back. Yeah, I would use Aftershock to clear out the Bucket's turrets a lot more, probably, than actually trying to do damage. So, actually against this team, 1 point in Aftershock would be actually decent, because it clears out your things. So it does look like that the monster is going to go down. Unfortunately, just fighting too strong on the Hunter's terms over here, and bouncing between targets a little too much, in my opinion. But he does get one down. Medic is down, so if he can actually keep the momentum, but it looks like just too much damage invested in trying to get Laz down. So good job.
Weak spots.
No,
Yeah, I'm not
just
playing.
the
I'm
face
not playing
bullet.
Kraken
Because
between MS.
Behemoth.
Screw that.
Surprised he chose Kraken. You don't normally play as them.
Good games. That first game, I don't know. I really liked that little defensive nest you had, and just tucked Laz back there and just said, hey, you know what? They can come get him, but he's going to take a lot of damage to do that. So I really liked having that little fortification where Laz could just basically safely camp there with the mines and the bucket turrets. So really good job. Also, really, really good job. You guys were playing a lot more defensively. You were evading the big damaging attacks like the lightning strikes and the aftershocks, and it really makes a big difference. And so you were doing a really, really good job of just avoiding damage, and that's the most important thing against Kraken, just because if you can, like, out of all the monsters, I feel he's the easiest to do what's called a domino effect, that once the assault, or once a major player goes down, it's very easy for Kraken to turn that into a win, but it's breaking that first shell that really makes a difference, especially on defensive oriented teams. So just be aware that playing defensively is the best way to play against Kraken. So fantastic work there. In the second game, though, a lot closer this time. I felt that the assault was a little too adventurous while chasing the monster, especially if you have Laz on your team. You don't want to get down too far away from Laz and that defensive perimeter, because then it's very hard to kind of go safely from there to the other spot, especially when you wouldn't be able to like sneakily cloak into the cave, because he could just kind of camp the entrances very well. So just be careful of that. But really good positioning in general. I feel that for Dead, I feel that you were targeting different people a little too much in the second one. I felt like you could have downed the assault and support several times, but right when you were about to like kill them, you switched to another player. But
I just feel like it just felt pointless going after them, because most of the time the Lazarus would find a way to sneak in anyway. So I was hoping at least if he had to spam heal bursts, I could actually get to him.
Fair enough, but I think that like forcing it's kind of like in most combat games. Like if you can force your opponent to react to what you're doing, they're more likely going to make a mistake than if you go on their terms, if that makes sense. So if you down somebody away from where Laz can effectively heal burst, yeah, he might get the cloak in, but it's going to change his position, and then from there maybe you can vortex him away from the bucket turret nest, so you can actually start focusing on him. And so I feel that it's always better to force the opponent to react to you as opposed to the other way around.
I think the assaults had his shield up at the time, and down in bucket's almost pointless.
I like actually. Well, go ahead.
Because he's already got sentries down anyway, so he's pretty much redundant to that point.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like even if you do down him, I mean, it still forces Laz to have to come to you and react to your position. So yeah, you could body camp, and even if you do only kill Bucket, that means once all the turrets are gone, Laz doesn't really have that much defensives left. Then he has to rely on Markov's mines, and cracking against Markov's mines is pretty easy because you can just air attack from them and wipe them out that way. Hey Fish, how's it going? But nonetheless, good game on both sides. Let's go ahead and let's get a real hunt.